Wormtown and us got together last year to make Worcester's Bravest together for the first time, we said the line that, hope we never make this beer together again. And not because we're not great friends, but hopefully we don't have a cause like that. And unfortunately, Worcester experienced another tragedy, and Wormtown and us got on the phone the next day and said, well, time to go to work.
So unfortunately, we find ourselves in a position to do another Worcester's Bravest collaboration with Wachusett Brewery for Lt Menard Family Fund this year. It was an effort that we had done last year for Ava Roy Fund and firefighter Christopher Roy. This year, we incorporated and approached all of the Worcester breweries to see if they want to be a part of it, and Greater Good joined the team this year, just helping to tell the story and hopefully raise a little bit extra money for the family.
And I think the one difference this year is as we're becoming a little bit more engaged in Worcester with the opening of the brew yard in Worcester that's coming up. We've also spent a lot more time with other breweries that we're friends with. And so we put out the call, and Greater Good joined as well. So this year there'll be 3 breweries making Worcester's Bravest for the first time: Wachusett Brewing Company, Wormtown Brewing Company, and Greater Good as well.
I think this year we were finally at the scale where we could take on something like this, fit it into our brew schedule. In past years, Wormtown and Wachusett had done this. Unfortunately, had to do this. We're feeling these kind of tragedies in Worcester more than other places because of some of the structures here. But so unfortunately, it's a tragic situation. But it gives us the opportunity to give back to the community in a more direct way. Something that happened right here in our backyard. We identify as a Worcester brand. Albeit a new Worcester brand. We've made quite the footprint in the city here, and it's just been really nice to hop in on this cause and give back a little bit.
Lt Menard is the Worcester firefighter who perished saving 2 of his teammates in a fire in end of November, I believe it was.
If you're in the Worcester area or surrounding areas, you know that this isn't uncommon for the area. We're built on triple deckers. And this happens, once every couple of years, unfortunately. So for us to be in the position to give back and help out, I remember the day. I was 9 years old when the Worcester 6 fire happened, and that was really impactful on my life. It actually happened on my father's birthday. So the last 2 times with Chris Roy and Jason Menard have been, a whole new generation of people being exposed to that. Social media has really helped. Having this big giant tap room has really helped. A place of congregation, people can come and hang out for a little bit, talk about their memories. We have a fire station right down the street, so the community's been really great in supporting what we're doing, anything that we're doing.
Yeah, we immediately reached out to the family. They needed time, as you could expect, so they got through obviously all the services and the mourning period, and they knew why we're doing it. Once they could really kind of, clear their minds, they came back and approved us moving forward. And obviously the foundation that was set up for his children's fund, which is supported by the Massachusetts Firefighter Association and the local Worcester one as well.
And we reached out to the Worcester Firefighters Local Union 1009, approached them and said, would some of your guys like to come out and be a part of the brew day? And they did that. And then 3 weeks later, they also sent, and these were all members of Lt Menard's team that was on site that day, as well as his close friends and family members from the firefighters family. And they came out and packaged the beer as well. So they touched that beer from mash in all the way to when the cans were seamed and put in cases.
So we actually had a whole group of firefighters in here, including Jason Menard's stepfather. He was in here for the brew day. They'll be back in here for when we can the beer. But they're very frequent customers of ours as well.
So we were actually really honored today to have Westminster's finest come and package the beer, because this is, the one thing we've learned through last year's tragedy is how tightly knit the first responder community is. Police associations, fire departments, etc. So when we let Westminster know that we were packaging the beer, every firefighter who was off duty and available came down to package with us, and it was, they were emotional about it. They called me after the fact to just say how much it meant to them that they could be a part of it.
Those guys came here at a time where they needed something to take their mind off of it, and to see them collaborating with each other, to see them outside of their normal pace and outside of the firehouse, having fun, smiling, asking questions, working hard, and then have every one of them come back and say this was just a really nice part of the healing moment. Yeah, I mean, it really goes back to the firefighter Roy. When that tragedy happened a year ago, as a Worcester guy, as is most of our team here, before we even got into work that day, we had already started sharing messages with each other about how we were going to brew a beer if we were able to, and support that effort. When the second tragedy happened this year, it was a no-brainer. We knew already what we were going to do and how we were going to do it. It was just a matter of getting Wachusett to say yes again, which they did, and then bringing the guys from Greater Good into it.
As much as it is an unfortunate scenario, we were happy and excited to jump in there this year, our first year at this size of brewery. So we were able to fit the recipe into our schedule with a little bit of feedback and pointers from Wachusett and Wormtown, who have done it in the past couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great from the beginning of our brewery. Worcester's Bravest is actually a beer we released on our opening day 10 years ago, and it's always been used as a fundraising effort to help with firefighter safety and training, so it was natural to use that beer.
So talking about the beer is the nice part. We love beer. When we talked last year to the fire department and said, all right, what are you interested in? A lot of them say, we love beer, maybe we're not hopheads and love big IPAs, so can you make something that's more drinkable and more for every person?
So we all brewed it. We took a recipe that was proprietary for us that we'd been using. Each brewery took that recipe, and we brewed a 30-barrel batch. Wachusett brewed a 40-barrel batch, and Greater Good brewed a 30-barrel batch. So kind of really fun to see the little differences and nuances of the beers, and to compare and contrast them to each other, because they will all be slightly to maybe a decent amount different, because each different brewery's take and their skill set and their processes will affect that beer.
So the recipe last year that was made, it's kind of recipe that Ben Roche, the head brewer of Wormtown, who used to actually work at Wachusett Brewing Company, has brewed in the past. It's a Belgian wit, so if you look at it, it's a beautiful beer. It's little orange, little haze, kind of some notes of coriander, banana, a little clove, and it's going to be garnished with an orange, and just beautiful beer to look at, beautiful beer to drink, and the kind of a beer that everyone can enjoy as they support such a worthy cause. So I'll support it now. It really is one of the best beers we make, and obviously for such a worthy cause.
It's a Belgian wit beer, so if you're looking for something to compare it to, a Blue Moon or something like that would be a good example. It's our first time brewing a beer like that, so the brewing process and fermentation process has been interesting and a first for us, but we'll have coriander in there. It's got some ground dried orange peel, so it's going to have a few different flavors that are unique to the Belgian style, but with a Worcester flair, we should say, the Greater Good flair.
So Worcester's Bravest is a traditional Belgian wit ale. So very light, very clean, bright yellow in color, and it's got nice lemon flavors and aromas to it up front. But as a traditional Belgian wit, it also finishes with a little bit of banana, maybe a little bit of nut in the beer as well. But light, easy, approachable style.
We will donate every drop of Worcester Bravest that we make until we run out. Last year, I think that first weekend, we did about 30 kegs, and then we probably sold the remainder in the next 2 weeks until we ran out. Here, I hope we sell even faster, so we can get the money to the family as fast as possible.
Last year for the Ava Roy Fund, I think our total donation was around 50 grand. Adding a third partner to it this year should raise that a pretty good chunk. So there's a financial meaning to the family as well that's really impactful.
So all proceeds are going to go directly to the Menard family for this cause. So we've done some fundraisers already this year. We've donated to the 100 Club, which is a great charity that the Worcester Fire Department focuses on. But this round, this year for Worcester's Bravest, it's all for the Menard family Children's Fund.
You know, all the proceeds of this beer, so every pint we sell, every 4-pack of cans we sell, every hat we sell, every t-shirt we sell, all the proceeds will go to the Lt Menard Children's Fund.
You can see around the tap room here today, there's a few different items that the Worcester Fire Department's raffling off, and we're happy to have to be a home for those kind of activities and fundraisers.
Yeah, I think as a business in a community that does business in a broader community, and I think Wormtown and Greater Good feel the same way. We're all beholden to be a part of that community. Our employees live in that community. Our consumers who come here are in the community. So when tragedy happens, I think it's our responsibility to do something. And we've always been very supportive of first responders and doing different events. We were the original brewery involved with the Dennis Leary Firefighter Foundation when obviously that tragedy happened many years ago. So we've been very close to it for a long time.
I mean, the feedback has been outstanding from Worcester. All we had to do was announce that we were a part of it, and the love came pouring in. Every time we do something that is involving the fire department or the Worcester Fire Department or the police department, the community comes out in droves. It's some of our most popular events are events where we have the fire department in here and the police department in here, because I think Worcester, being a small city, is very tight-knit, and every time that they know that we're aligning ourselves with a cause like this, they're going to show up and line up at the door.
It was a really nice bonding opportunity for them also to just kind of come and be together and have some fun.
Sounds like a broken record, but I hope we never make this beer again.
For us, being a part of this is natural. It's part of our DNA. Everything about Wormtown from day one has been local. It starts with the slogan, "A piece of Mass in every glass," which means that every one of our beers has Massachusetts grown, Massachusetts raised ingredients. They go into all of our beers. We take that seriously into our naming. Be Hoppy, the smiley face created by Harvey Ball. Rocket is a tribute to Dr. Robert Goddard. So we like everything to be local. Being able to participate in something like this for our community that's local means we're able to just ingrain ourselves deeper in our community, to make a difference, and just help celebrate Worcester and Worcester County, which is really why we're here. And this is our 10th year. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary March 17th. We're throwing a big party on the 14th. Recognizing the birthday on the 17th, and just can't believe it's been 10 years of our commitment to the community and local.
So, yeah, the other news is we are opening 2 additional brew yards besides Westminster. Right now, it's Worcester, which is going to be in the new Worcester Public Market, which is near the new stadium being built in the Canal District, is opening next Thursday. January 30th is a private launch, but that weekend, we will potentially be pouring Worcester's Bravest if there's some still available there as well. And then shortly after that, we have a new location opening up in Cambridge, in Harvard Square, the site of the former John Harvard brew pub that was there. And that'll be open. So the little brewery that was founded and based in Westminster is finally growing up. And we were named the 43rd largest brewery in the country last year. And with these 2 new locations and hopefully getting more fans to know who we are and what we're about, we'll keep climbing that list and still all be about from North Central Massachusetts, but start bringing North Central Massachusetts to other people versus always having them come out here. So definitely look out for that. We'll be sharing that news, and again, just supporting Worcester's Bravest wherever we can.
Greater Good, we launched here in Worcester a little over 2 years ago at this point. A little under 2 years ago, I should say, at this point, last 2 Marches ago. We specialize in all Imperial beers, so everything that we do is 8% to 12%. It's all about providing that, you're paying a good amount for craft beer, so providing some worth for what you're paying, and also building a high ABV beer that is flavorful and tasty and doesn't give you that booziness or any kind of alcohol burn. We feel like we filled a void in Worcester 2 years ago when we launched. We are the biggest tap room in Worcester. It was a large congregational space that people hadn't really traditionally had in Worcester. Big parking lot, big space to hang out, picnic table style seating. So bringing the brew pub environment to the city, I think we were really the first one to embrace that brew pub environment. Once we opened up here, we realized 8 to 12% beers were kind of a lot, and that some people wanted a lower ABV beer. Some people wanted a session beer, not just something they had to have a grilled cheese with, which we do have a kitchen here and we can do. So we launched a second line of beers called Sole Purpose that was tap room only, and those tend to be in the lower sessionable area beers, like 3.5 to 6%, and that's taken off so great that we're actually exploring other options in Worcester for a second location. So the past few years have been awesome here. The product's highly rated and well received, so I think we have a long future.